If you're struggling to create new habits, if you're struggling to keep habits in place, and if you just find yourself dropping or forgetting to do those new habits, this video is for you. Because I'm going to share with you 3 simple ways and powerful ways that are proven and that work to create a new habit, but also to stick with it. So let's go. It's one of these things that is so interesting. Creating a habit and sticking to it and make it actually work is one of these things people struggle a lot with. But we all know the importance of having new habits, don't we? And that's why every new year we all have resolution and new habits, tasks that we want to do. But within a few days, we cannot forget about it. Between 2 weeks, we don't even remember what those habits were. And this is something we do throughout the year. Because our life is pretty much the result of all the little habits we have. And we all have good habits, neutral and bad habits. And so we want to remove those old bad. And so we want to remove the old habits and replace them, right? But then why is it so difficult? Why is it that we can start, and a lot of people are really good at starting, yeah? And then they do it, and then something comes up, right? Life. And then they stop doing it, they procrastinate. I'll do it tomorrow. Now is not the day, I'm tired. And then they don't do it, and then they kind of just forget about it. It's like nothing ever happened. And then they kind of wake up again and they feel like, oh, I need to do my new habit again. Of course, they're not getting the result because when we dabble, when we're inconsistent, incongruent, we go back into the old habit in our old ways and we're getting the old result. But before and above all, if you're struggling and you're getting those results and you have those patterns, it's because of your mindset. So I want to share 3 keys real quick with you about the mindset of making efficient habits. Because a habit, key number 1, is nothing more than a decision. Whatever you start, whether you stick to it, whether you do it or not, is a decision. And if you cannot make the decision, or if you are indecisive, or if you make the wrong decision based on your fears, on your mood, or your excuses that goes in your thoughts, you won't be sticking to it. So I want you to watch my video why we struggle to make decisions, because I went in depth into it and what you can do to get yourself in a state where you can make empowering decisions. So I'm gonna put the link somewhere, and if you feel like you're struggling with that, I highly recommend you guys to watch the video. The second key is this. It's to know why it's important. You wanna create a new habit, meaning you want an outcome. Maybe you wanna lose weight, be prettier, get more money, reach more clients, whatever it is. But why do you want it? Why is it important? Why is it a must for you to have it? It's so important to find out the answer to that question for so many reasons. Because it's what's going to give you the fuel, the energy, the motivation to stick to it, to stay committed, but it's also going to give you the drive that is actually the key behind your desire. And so when you understand why you really want something, you really make it a priority. And too often when something is not a priority, meaning it's not important enough, we're going to do some other stuff. So make it a priority, make it a must, and you'll commit far much easier. And finally, the third key to make a habit stick, to stay committed to it, is to reward yourself. Rewarding yourself with progress, even if it's a small habit, even if it's small progress, small step that you've been making, reward yourself. Why is that? Because we are a little bit like animals, like dogs. When they train dogs, every time the dog performs a new behaviors in a way they want him to do, they treat him with a little treat. And what that does is that they train the dog to be like, oh, this is a good behavior, treat, right? Neurologically, we do the same thing. When you have a new behavior and you reward yourself for it, you link it with pleasure. So in your mind, in your subconscious mind, it becomes pleasurable. So now you know that, oh, this behavior equals reward, equals pleasure, and we want to go toward pleasure because we want to avoid pain. But too often we go into the, I need to beat myself up into doing it. So what we do is we build pain toward that behavior, and then we wonder why we don't stick to it. Because it sucks, because we don't like it, because it's painful, and there is only so much threshold of pain we can take before we actually say, fuck this shit. Does that make sense? So reward yourself, no matter what it is. Even in your relationships or with people around you, when they do great things, reward them. And that doesn't mean food only. It can be, but it can be in so many other ways. All right? So those are the 3 mindset keys that can really help you hack this whole habit thing. Now, I want to go into the 3 ways, the 3 simple ways that are all different that you can use in your life right now to create and stick to the new habit and get the thing that you want. All right? And the first way to create a new habit is to stack it to a habit that you already have. What do you mean by that? We all have so many habits that we already have right now, that we're doing right now all the time. So if we can leverage one of the habits that we already have and kind of bring a new element to it, that will just take the momentum of the first habit and it will kind of just become a new, bigger habit. So we're using the momentum, the energy, the habit that we already have, and we just change it, expand it a little bit. One example, for example, is you might be wanting to take some vitamin or some green smoothie or something, right? And you just kind of feel like you're forgetting all the time. So you could, when you brush your teeth in the morning, as soon as you're done, take your vitamin or drink your juice, whatever. And what you're doing is you're using the habit that you already do anyway, and now you're taking the vitamin at the same time. And before you realize it, you're doing both things together because you already have so much momentum behind it. One way I created this in my own life is that Sunday afternoon, when I drink my coffee, and I always do that, Sunday afternoon I always have a coffee, I call my dad because I really wanted to create a habit of talking to my dad more often on a weekly basis. And that was how I used it. I used the coffee time and the time that I had, and I linked it to calling my dad. And it sticked. And to this day, I still call my dad every afternoon, Sunday, when I drink my coffee. So find the power of one habit that you already have, add one element to it, and use that momentum to continue the progress. That's the first way. It's a very simple way. The second way to create a new habit is to start small. And I cannot overemphasize this, the importance of starting small, because too often we want to start big, go all in, do crazy step, and we get overwhelmed, we get stressed, we don't know what to do, it's too much. And then we wonder why we're not sticking to it. And the classic example of this is I want to lose weight. So I gotta go to the gym 5 times a week for 2 hours, and then I gotta go on this crazy new diet that I don't like. And then we wonder why people don't stick to it and why they don't get the results. So start small. If you want to lose weight, and you've never been to the gym for years, well, can you do 10 push-ups, 10 squats, and maybe 10 sit-ups 5 times a week? That's a small way to start. And if you can start small and you can reward yourself, and you can increase that every single week a little bit. For example, maybe you want to stop drinking so much coffee. Maybe you're drinking 5 cups a week and you feel like that's too much. Well, can you drink 4 cups a day for the next week? And then can you go for 3 the week after that and 2 the week after that until you reach that limit where you feel like this is the right amount for me? Do you see where I'm going with this? If you feel like you want to start a YouTube channel instead of going like I need to make videos every single day forever, can you start with 1 video a week? And then when you feel like this is okay, 2 videos a week, and then slowly increase and rewarding yourself all the time. This is a very simple way, a very efficient way to use to start small step and then progressively expand. And the third way, finally, the third way to create a new habit is this. Proximity is key, and it's such a fast track. If you want to speed up your new habit, get around people who are already doing it. They're already in the habit of it, they're already getting the result, and just let it rub onto you. Because they already have the mindset, the belief, the attitude, the behavior. All you have to do is stick around them, find out their mindset, do like them, and just use the energy. Because remember, we become like the average of the people we spend time with. So for example, if you want to go on a detox and drink no more alcohol, you're very likely going to need to get out of your social group. So get into another group of people who don't drink and still have fun social lives. And I guarantee you that it'll be so much easier not to drink when you're around those people. If you want to start doing some form of health activity and you're over 40 and in your group nobody's training and everybody's telling you you're 40, you're too old, that's why, blah, blah, blah. get out and go in a group where people over 40 are exercising, they're in great physical condition, they're not limited by the mindset of I'm 40, I'm old, and whatever. And you'll see how fast you can morph into that group and become like them. So it's such a fast way to create new habits and shortcut your result. So whatever you want, surround yourself, if you can, with people like that, or with book, or with podcasts, or seminars, or go on a meetup, do something. But you can find those people, you can find their behaviors, you can find their habit, their energy, and just let that momentum that they already have rub on you, and you see how fast you can make the progress and how easy it is to stay committed. So those are my 3 ways, guys. I hope you enjoyed them. They're great. Of course, there's far many ways to create a habit. You could just decide and be done with it. And that's all it takes sometimes. So let me know what you think in a comment, which one you like most, and I will see you in my next video. As always, like, share, subscribe, and be well.